All right, so welcome back, English majors. So for today, we're going to discuss Introduction to Phonology. All right, so when we say phonology, it is a branch of linguistics that studies the sound system of a language, specifically how sounds are organized, patterned, and function to distinguish meaning. So ano ba pumapasok sa isip mo pag narinig mo yung sound system? And how is this different from phonetics? So para di tayo malito, ignore muna natin yung mga nasa baba. Simulan muna natin sa differentiation ng phonology and phonetics. So what is their difference? Madami kasing nalilito dito. So when we say phonetics, as I said sa mga previous videos natin and kung mapapansin mo, phonetics concerns itself with the speech sounds themselves. So what are speech sounds? So lahat naman ng tao sa mundo, or let's just say the human race, is equipped with the throat. And yung throat, kaya niya makapag-produce na tinatawag nating voice. So yung mga sounds na naririnig mo, basta anything na napoproduce ng lalamunan natin is considered the voice. But question, ang voice ba ay naiintindihan sa isang lengguwahe? Obviously, no. Kailangan gumamit tayo ng tinatawag nating articulators. Okay? So ano ba yung mga articulators natin? We have the tongue, the lips, the mouth itself, di ba? If you use your articulators, you will transform your voice into something understandable, and we call that speech. For example, para ma-pronounce mo yung p and b sound, kailangan magdikit yung dalawa mong labi. We call that bilabial plosive. Tama? So, yun yung speech. Phonetics concerns itself with the speech sounds themselves, how they are produced, transmitted, and perceived. Pag sinabi naman nating phonology, phonology studies how sounds function within a specific language system. Now, although lahat ng tao ay may lalamunan, but because magkakaiba tayo ng language, obviously, our sound system would be different. For example, let's look at the word toilet. Okay, toilet. This is our word, toilet. In English, this is pronounced as toilet, right? Toilet, as simple as that. Makita mo naman yung spelling, T-O-I-L-E-T. However, in French, this is going to be toile. Toile. Now, in French, even though pares sila ng spelling in English, di ba? Even though kung titignan mo yung French ay may A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it uses the same system of writing, it's still different from English. That's because phonologically speaking, magkaiba sila ng sound system. Although phonetically speaking, parehas lang naman sila ng lalamunan, they just use their languages differently. The fact na they use it differently, yun yung dinidiscuss sa phonology. Now, gamit tayo ng analogy. Kung ang phonetics is the instrument, ito yung gitara, phonology is the music itself. Ito yung mismong napoproduce na music, di ba? For example, our instrument is a guitar. A guitar, kahit saan mo tignan, kahit anong aralin mo dyan, it will have 6 strings and madami siyang frets. Di ba? Iba-iba siya ng frets. And bawat fret, tumataas ng one half, semi-half, mga ganun. But pag ginamit mo yung gitara at nilaro mo siya into different genres, 'di ba? You can use the guitar into creating jazz music, makaka-create ka naman ng metal music. They're using the same thing, but they're just using it differently. And yun yung dinidiscuss sa phonology. Okay, so once again, phonetics is the instrument, phonology is the music itself. Yun yung main difference nila. So therefore, in phonology, hindi na natin i-discuss dito kung ano yung nangyayari sa lalamunan, sa ngipin, sa bunganga. Ang dinidiscuss natin sa phonology is kung paano nagme-make sense yung tunog ng lingwahe, kung paano ito makakaapekto sa meaning, sa context, using sounds itself. So, it does not just look at individual sounds. So, ito yung mga sasabi kong phonemes kanina. It focuses rather on how sounds interact with each other, rules governing sound patterns, and how differences in sound can change meaning. So I want to introduce you to what we call the IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabets. This is the phonemic chart. Okay? I'm sure familiar na kayo sa ibang mga symbols dito kasi nakita nyo na yan sa video ko in phonetics. Now, class, Ilan ng alphabets ng English language? We have 26 letters, di ba? We have 26 letters in the English alphabet. Question, 26 ways din ba yung pag-pronounce nila? Obviously, no. Ang turo sa atin mula nung bata tayo, 5 yung vowels. It's a, e, i, o, u. In fact, ang pagkakaturo sa atin nung bata tayo, ang vowels is letter A, letter E, letter I, letter O, letter U. However, if you're going to pronounce them, all 5 of them, you would realize na madaming ways para i-pronounce yung different vowels. For example, let's have a look at this phoneme. Makikita mo yung spelling ng cat is my letter A, di ba? Pero pakinggan mo yung pronunciation niya. Cat. At. Right? Tingnan mo naman tong mabilisan na up, a, a. Ang spelling niya is U. Pero ang basa-basa kanya is U. Ang basa-basa dyan ay up. Di ba hindi? Ang basa dyan is up, up. So itong letter U, even though letter U ang up, ang pronunciation niya is yung vowel na ah, ah, ah. So class, what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here, class, is as English majors, wag nyo nang titignan yung letters. Because on their own, letters can only represent so much of their sounds. Okay? For example, tignan natin yung word na coin. Word natin is coin. So, ang basa dyan is coin. Tama? O-I. Coin. Oin. Oin. However, if we're gonna look at this word, yan. If we're gonna look at this word, reservoir, ang basa natin dito is reservoir. Parehas naman silang OI. Parehas naman silang OI. Diba? And yes, you can argue na ang word kasi na reservoir is French. Pero di ba dapat pag hiniram na natin yung word, gumagawa na tayo ng sariling version sa language natin? Bakit sa English, di ba, ang word natin is jeep? Di ba? Pero nung ginawa nating Filipino yan, ganito na yung spelling ng deep. Parang ganyan na. Di ba ganyan na yung spelling ng jeep? Pag Pilipino, humihiram tayo ng word sa ibang lingwahe, ginagawa natin ang sarili nating spelling. In English, however, that's not the same. That's because English is not a phonological language. Tandaan nyo English is not a phonological language. Ibig sabihin, hindi porket nakasulat, ganun na rin yung basa. For example, buruin ko lang to. Another example. Let's say, ang word natin is naked. Our word is naked. So, pasensya na kayo kung medyo may naririnig kayo sa background. That's fine. Okay, our word is naked. So, logically speaking, ang babasahin nyo dyan is naked. Di ba? Naked. How about this one? Ang word naman natin is faked. Bakit hindi natin siya basahin katulad ng naked? Bakit hindi faked basa natin dyan? O kaya faked? Bakit ang basa natin dito is faked, hindi faked? Gets nyo ba? That's because, class, as I said, English is not a phonological language. Hindi siya katulad ng Spanish at saka ng Filipino na kung ano yung nakasulat, ganun din yung basa. Okay? So, we have 26 letters in the English alphabet, but we have 44 different ways in pronouncing them. And we call them phonemes. Mamaya, i-discuss ko kung ano yung mga phonemes. Kung ano yung ngayon ko napapaliwanag what are phonemes. Alright. In phonology, a phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that can distinguish meaning in a language. Phoneme is the smallest unit of sound. However, class, what you have to understand is that on their own, a phoneme does not have a meaning. Walang meaning yan. Itong mga to, itong i, u, yan. Itong mga sounds na nakikita nyo, walang meaning yan on their own. Okay? Parang letters lang. Di ba ang mga letters na A, B, C, D, E, F, G, wala silang meaning on their own. However, if you combine them together with other phonemes, you will create a word and therefore it will now carry a meaning. For example, if you combine the consonant B and the consonant T, tapos nilagay niyo sa gitna yung consonant, yung vowel na ba, you will pronounce the word bat. Now, individually, itong mga sounds na to, wala silang meaning. Pero dahil kinombine mo sila, it now has a meaning. Okay? Same for the word pat. Pat. Individually, walang meaning yung mga yan. But dahil kinombine mo na sila, may meaning na. Now, to guide us in our chart, mapapansin nyo, mula nung bata kayo, 5 vowels lang tinuturo. But actually, ganito po kadami yung vowels in the English language. And it's divided into 2. We have monotongues and diphthongs. So what are monotongues? Monotongues are pure vowel sounds. Your tongue stays in one position. Whereas diphthongs naman, gliding. So gliding, your tongue moves from one position to another. So para di kayo malito, isa-isahin lang natin to. Madali lang naman to, class. By the way, your assignment is to memorize the phonemic chart. Paki-memorize yung phonemic chart because ang lumalabas kadalasan sa mga exam is yung kung ano yung phonemic spelling ng isang word. Okay? For example, what is the phonemic spelling of the word bat? So, isusulat mo siya ng parang paganto. So, paki-memorize po yung phonemic chart. To be fair, madali lang naman yung consonant. Usually, kung ano yung sulat, ganun din sa consonant chart. However, may mga cases na you have to memorize specific symbols. For example, this one, the chair and June. Ito ay examples ng affricatives. Tama? These are examples of affricatives. And then we have think and this. You have to memorize these symbols as well as sh and vish. Okay? So, paki-memorize po itong 6 na to. And of course, this one, the ing. Unique din yan. Now, ang real challenge is the vowels. Because as you can see, may marami kayong nakikita dito na unfamiliar na symbols. So, isa-isay natin. Once again, pag sinabi nating monotongues, pure vowel yan. Isang sound lang. And your tongue stays in one position. So, pag may nakita kayong ganito, yan, ibig sabihin yan, mas mahabang pronunciation. So, look. Ang word natin is sheep. The word is sheep. Pero yung dalawang E, even though E siya, hindi naman natin yan babasahin as di ba? Otherwise, ang basa sa word na sheep is sheep. So even though dalawang E to, ang basa sa kanya is parang letter I, which is kung babalik tayo sa vowels, E. Tama? E. That's why ang basa natin dito sa word na sheep is Pero dahil meron tayong makikitang ganito, hahaba natin. It's going to be sheep. Pag wala namang ganito at nakakita kayo ng capital na I, na ganyan lang, ang basa dito is mabilis na E. Sheep. 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 Okay? Alright. Punta naman tayo dito sa horseshoe kasi mukha siyang, di ba? Mukha siyang sapatos ng kabayo. Horseshoe. Alright. So, basa dito is good. Good. Observe mo. Dalawang O to, pero mabilis yung basa. Dito naman, dalawang E, sheep, pero mahaba yung basa. So, bakit itong good, mabilis yung basa, compared sa sheep, mahaba? Once again, kasi nga, kailangan natin ng ganito. Yan. Kailangan natin ng ganyan. So, itong good, ganyan yung basa niya, mabilis. Ito namang toot, mahaba. Mahaba yung toot. Okay? Okay? I have a broken tooth. Hindi, I have a broken tooth. Alright. Anyway, lahat ng sinasabi ko is just the proper pronunciation. But that doesn't mean na pag hindi mo siya na-pronounce ng tama, hindi na magme-make sense yung meaning niya. It depends sa context. Tandaan niyo yan. It always depends sa context. Okay. Punta naman tayo dito sa So, bed. 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 And then we have the schwa. Once again, pag sinabi nating schwa, ang schwa vowel, this is an unstressed vowel. Her. Kung mapapansin mo, wala namang stress yung ano, wala namang stress yung syllable na her. Okay? Alright. Punta naman tayo dito sa bird. So medyo mahaba to. Bird. Bird. Hindi siya bird. It's bird. Hindi siya bird. It's bird. Bird. The bird is flying. Hindi, the bird is flying. And then we have law. 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 Under the law, ganon. Hindi under the law. Actually nga, dapat i-pronounce mo yung W under the law. Kaso, pag pronounce mo kasi yung W, magtutunog na siyang low. Diba? Under the law. Alright? So, mapapansin nyo rin, in the English alphabet nga, kasi nga, dahil hindi phonological ang English, may mga words, ay may mga letters na silent. Okay? Namana natin yung sa French eh. Alright, so, and then we have the A and the E na sound. Sir, di ba sabi mo po, ang diphthongs from one position to another, ang dila. So, dalawang sounds to. Pero bakit hindi consider na diphthong? Kasi nga, hindi naman gumalaw yung dila mo. Pronounce mo yung ka. Mapapansin mo yung a at saka i mo, nagko-combine, nagkakaroon ng parang vocal fry na, di ba? Cat. Right? And then this one is mabilis naman. Up, 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 up. Alright, sorry kung medyo may naririnig kayo sa background. And then we have the car, R, R. Wala kayong maririnig dito na pagka-e. Car. And then on. Alright, madali lang naman yan. Now, let's move with diphthongs. Sa diphthongs naman, it's pretty similar lang naman dito sa monotongs. So, burahin ko lang to para di kayo malito. Alright, once again, pag sinabi nating monotongs, these are pure vowel sounds. Pag sinabi naman nating diphthongs, gumagalaw yung dila mo. Monotongs, yung dila mo nasa isang position, diphthongs from one position to another. So, let's combine the capital I and the schwa sound. Combine natin yan together. So, we would have, di ba yung I na capital, mabilis. Tapos pag nilagyan mo pa ng schwa, dear. Dear. Imagine, dear, tapos biglang naging unstressed. Dear. Okay? And ito naman, letter E na may I na mabilis. So, it's going to be tapos say, tapos bigla ka nag-E. Say. Okay? Now, we also have this one. So, schwa sound lang naman to. Mapapansin mo, itong column na to, this column has a schwa sound, and this column naman has an E sound, and this column has an O sound. O, so, no, now, so, now. So, yan lang naman yung monotongs. Madali lang naman siya once you memorize the chart kung paano siya mag-gauge. Alright. So, once again, paki-memorize po yung phonemic chart. Let's proceed. So now you know what a phoneme is. Let's discuss a minimal pair. If changing one sound creates a new word, those sounds are different phonemes. This is called a minimal pair. For example, ang word natin is ship versus sheep. So, kung titignan mo yung spelling nila in phonetics, ganito lang naman yan. Okay? Ganyan lang naman yan. Ganyan lang yung spelling nila. Ang mababago is yung gitna. It's either ganto or ganto. Okay? So that's what we call a minimal pair. Ano pa example sa minimal pair? Balik tayo dito. This is also a minimal pair. Bat and pat. Bakit? Kung titingnan mo yung spelling nila phonemically, similar. Pero ang nabago lang is yung consonant nila sa simula. Yung onset na consonant. Okay? So, bakit to nagmamatter? Kasi meron din tayong tinatawag na allophones. So, what are allophones? Allophones are different pronunciations of the same phoneme. Ha? Pwede ba natin i-pronounce differently ang isang phoneme? Yes, in a way, yes. Ang word natin is pin. The word is pin. Pin, parang ano, pin the location, pinpoint, ganun. That is our word. Now, would you agree with me na hindi naman mababago yung meaning if aspirated siya or hindi? So, when I say aspirated, eto, nakita mo tong H na to, ito yung symbol natin. Pag sinabi nating aspirated, what we mean by that is may short burst of air. So, you can pronounce the P sound in two different ways. You can pronounce it aspirated or unaspirated. So, if it's aspirated, ang basa dyan is pin. Pin. So, narinig niyo ba? May umiyak na bata. Pagpasensya niyo na. Ayan. Kasi gising na yung ano eh. Gising na yung inaanak ko. Alright, so, pag may aspiration, may hangin, may short burst of air. Pin. Pin. Pag naman unaspirated, walang short burst of air. So, it's going to be pin. Pin. So, once again, pag may short burst, pin. Pag wala, pin. Question, nabago ba yung meaning? No, hindi nabago yung meaning. So therefore, the aspirated P sound is an allophone of the phoneme P. Other examples, we have the word T. Ang word natin is T. What's the T? So paano natin to IPA? IPA niyan is T, tapos yan, letter I na mabilis. Okay? So pwede mo siyang basahin as T. Would you like to have a cup of tea? Or, would you like to have a cup of tea? May nabago ba sa meaning? Wala naman. Therefore, the aspirated T is an allophone of the phoneme T. Gets? Alright, let's proceed. A syllable. What is a syllable? A syllable is a unit of sound consisting of a vowel with or without surrounding consonants, pronounced as one beat. So, ayun, I'm sure naman naglalaro kayo ng charades, may idea kayo kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng syllable. But para mas maintindihan natin siya linguistically, when we say syllable, may structure yan. Tandaan nyo, a syllable must always have a nucleus. Kailangan to. Ito yung core ng isang syllable. A nucleus is a vowel. Okay? Ang onset naman at coda, this is the surrounding consonants. So, onset, yan yung simula ng syllable. Coda, yung pinaka-end ng syllable. Kailangan ba natin ng consonant? Hindi. Ang kailangan lang natin ay vowel. For example, our word is cat. Cat is one syllable. One beat lang yan. One syllable, one beat. What is the onset? Our onset is the k sound. So, this is the consonant. And our nucleus is the vowel, which is the monotone ka, sound. And then our coda, which is the ending consonant, is the T sound. So that is cat overall. Now, what if we remove the onset? If we remove the onset, at na lang ang word natin, at, as in the preposition at, it will still make sense. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko na hindi naman kailangan kasi ng syllable ng consonant. Ang kailangan lang is may vowel sa gitna. How about if we remove the coda, which is T? Ang word na lang natin is a. A. May word bang a? Oo, meron, di ba? We have a door. A door. So, yung at, this is a preposition. Ang a naman, a is an article. So, familiar ba kayo sa word na article? Yan. Article are determiners. So, pag-usapan natin yan sa syntax. So, yes, this is still a word. In short class, what I'm trying to say is that ang syllable, kaya niya mag-exist without consonants. So, punta tayo sa word na rhythm. Yan. Ang word natin is rhythm. By the way, ang topic na natin ngayon is suprasegmentals. Pero dahil nandito siya sa word na to, rhythm. Pag sinabi nating rhythm, 'di ba sabi nila, this is the longest English word daw without a vowel. Nung bata ako, I used to agree with this kasi wala akong nakita ang A, E, I, O, U. 'Di ba? Kasi tinitingnan ko yung letters na A, E, I, O, U. So, in that logic, I would agree. But as an English major, merong vowel dito. I-pronounce mo rhythm. 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 In fact, dalawa pa nga yung vowels dito eh. We have re, and then we have them. We have re and them. So, kung i-spell mo to using the IPA, dalawang vowels may kita mo and dalawang syllables yan. Alright, so yun lang naman. Punta naman na tayo sa usapang suprasegmentals. What are suprasegmentals? In phonology, suprasegmentals are features of speech that go beyond individual sounds and operates over syllables, words, or entire utterances. Pag sinabi natin suprasegmental, aside from the fact na may individual sounds na nga, ang suprasegmental, pag pronounce mo siya in different ways, mababago yung meaning. So, meron tayong apat dyan. We have stress, rhythm, pitch, intonation. Simulan natin sa stress. Stress, this is the emphasis placed on a syllable. When I say emphasis, diin. Gaano mo kakadiinan yung syllable. For example, our word is record. The word is record. Now, kung titignan mo yung spelling ng record, it's going to be R-E-C-O-R-D. Tama? Pero paano natin madidistinguish kung noun ba siya or verb? Babaguhin lang natin yung pronunciation. So, ilan yung syllables ng word na record? We have two. We have re, and then we have cord. So, 2 syllables ang word na record. However, kung saan tayo maglalagay ng diin na syllable, it will change the meaning. For example, record. The records show that 50% of the population, di ba? It becomes a noun. Just by adding stress in the first syllable, it becomes a noun. If we add stress on the second syllable, record, it becomes a verb. I will record tomorrow. Stress can change meaning. So, tingnan natin yung phonological spelling niya. Pag sinabi nating record, it is a document, a file, or recording. Ayan, no? So, paano natin lalagyan ng stress syllable? Paano natin lalagyan ng stress na symbol? Ito yung lalagay nyo. Kung nasan to, nandyan yung stress. Pag verb naman, to record, ayan, dito nyo ilalagay. Start of the syllable. So, ganyan ka-importante yung stress as a suprasegmental. Ano naman yung rhythm? Rhythm in phonology is the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllable. So, ang word natin is pattern. Kung paano siya nagkakasunod-sunod. For example, ang sentence natin is, I want to go to school. I want to go to school. So, itong mga words na to, want, go, and school, depende kung paano mo pinopronounce yung syllables nila. If you're gonna pronounce it louder, longer, or more forcefully, it will change, of course, the meaning. Okay? Pag sinabi mo kasing, I want to go to school, normal lang siya. Pero pag sinabi mong, I want to go to school, it's like you're enforcing na gusto mo talaga pumunta sa school. Tama? So that's rhythm. Once again, rhythm is the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. Pitch naman. Pitch refers to the highness or lowness of the voice. So, pitch. Bigyan ko kayo ng word. Okay? Let's say our word is, ano bang pwedeng word natin? Is, okay. Ang word natin is okay. Alright, so if you're gonna pronounce the word okay in a low pitch, okay. Ano yung magiging meaning nun para sa'yo? Parang okay lang. How about pag ganito yung pagkakapronounce mo? Okay. Okay. High pitch. Ano yung magiging implication nun sa'yo? Well, you can interpret it in your own way. Baka pwede mong sabihin na pag sabing, okay, parang sarcastic, ganun. So, that's pitch. Pag sinabi naman nating intonation, it refers to a pattern of speech movement. Pattern. So, may dalawang klaseng intonation. It's either falling intonation or rising intonation. And depende kung paano mo siya gagamitin, it's going to change the meaning of the sentence. For example, pag falling intonation, pababa yung pitch, it's going to be, you finished your work. So, you finished your work. Pag rising intonation naman, you finished your work. You finished your work, pataas, it implies na nagtatanong ka. So falling intonation is a statement, rising intonation naman is a question. However, this is not always the case. May mga cases na kahit falling intonation, tanong siya. Pag rising intonation naman, it's a statement. It depends sa context. Punta naman tayo sa phonological process. A phonological process is a systematic sound change that occurs in speech. It explains how sounds are altered, simplified, deleted, added, or influenced by nearby sounds during pronunciation. So the more na ginagamit kasi natin ang language orally or verbally, mapapansin mo na para mas maging smooth ang pronunciation natin ng mga words, meron tayong tinatawag na phonological process. So huwag na tayong magpadalos pa. Punta na tayo sa example. Let's say assimilation. This is the most famous example of a phonological process, assimilation. Assimilation is the process where one sound becomes similar to a nearby sound for easier pronunciation. Let's say our word is handbag. So kung titignan mo yung IPA niya, it's going to be handbag like this. Pero dahil sa sobrang bilis na ng usapan nyo, yung N ay nagiging M. Yung N ay nagiging M. Nawawala na rin yung D. So, it is a process where one sound becomes similar to a nearby sound. So, bakit? Etong M at saka yung B sound ay similar. Bakit sila similar? O, balik tayo sa phonetics ha, phonetics. Sa usapang phonetics, ang M at saka B sound, what do they have in common? Both of them are bilabial kasi kailangan mo ng dalawang labi na magdikit para ma-pronounce mo yung M and yung B sound. So instead of saying handbag, you would say handbag. Can you give me the handbag? Mabilisan. Can you give me the handbag? Whereas kung ipopronounce mo siya ng mabagal, can you give me the handbag? Di ba parang ang unusual pakinggan yung, can you give me the handbag? Pwede mo naman gawin yun, but if nasa tight situation ka, it's easier to say, hindi mo na nga napapansin, handbag. Can you give me the handbag? So that's assimilation. Punta naman tayo sa elision. Kung ang assimilation is binabago mo yung sound para maging similar sa katabi, ang elision naman is binubura mo. Binubura. So our two words is next day. Next day ang two words natin. If you're going to carefully pronounce it, it's going to be next day. May emphasis sa letter T, sa T sound. Next day. Pero kung nagmamadali ka, burahin mo na yung T. It's going to be next day. Next day. That's elision. A process where a sound is omitted or deleted in connected speech. Next day. Nawala na yung T, di ba? Punta naman tayo sa linking. Linking, from the word linking, you are linking them, kinoconnect mo sila. This is the process where sounds connect smoothly between words. So instead of pronouncing them individually as pick it up, it's going to be pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Hindi na siya pick it up. It's pick it up, 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 not pick it up. So that's linking. It's in order to make them smoother. Okay? Insertion naman. So from the word insertion or epenthesis, you are adding, inserting an extra sound. For example, our word is athlete. So in IPA, it's going to be this. Pero nilagyan mo ng schwa sound. So ang basa niya dyan is athlete. The athlete, athlete, hindi athlete. It's athlete, athlete. Okay? And then we have metathesis. Ang metathesis naman, nasi-switch mo yung position. So instead of saying ask, it's going to be asks. Asks. Can you ask? Can you ask? Halos di mo na ma-distinguish yung difference nila, di ba? Pero if you're going to listen carefully, nabaliktad mo yung K tsaka S. So that's metathesis. And of course, we have coalescence. Coalescence, rather. Coalescence. This is a process where two adjacent sounds merge into a new sound. So, did you. Two words yan. It becomes did you. Did you. So, nagkaroon tayo dito ng another phoneme. Did you. Did you. Okay? So, that should be it for now. Our next discussion is going to be about morphology.